Hey everybody, it's Mary. Hopefully I'm back. And yes, in fact, Carla, I was cussing at the computer. Now what is it doing? Now what is it doing? Okay, hang on. We have problems, Houston. We have a problem. Let's try this. There we go. Let's see if this works. Nope. uh, Are you guys, am I live? If you guys hang on just a second, I'm just trying to see my video off on the computer. Just 1 minute, y'all. Some days there is knots in the floss. I started early this morning by making a blueberry cheesecake coffee cake, or cream cheese coffee cake that had no cream cheese in it because I forgot to put it in there. So it's just one of those days. You know what I'm saying? Just one of them there days. Let's see what we get here. Maybe this looks right. It looks good so far. Yes! Yes, I believe I can now see myself. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Well, it was a perfect start to a Saturday video. So it's Mary, it's Stamps-N-Lingers. I have a special guest because, of course, you want to look like an idiot in front of your sister-in-law. So y'all just send the comments that says she's not usually this dumb. Okay, it's been one of those days. First thing I did this morning was make breakfast for everybody and forgot to put it together right, and then forgot to put the cream cheese in it. And then my pizza dough was sticky. It's been a day. I'm just saying. All right. Okay, so here's our card for today, and it uses the new sketched butterflies, and you can see if you look at the pictures, it really truly looks like somebody sketched with a black, I don't know, pencil or pen or something like that. It has the added advantage of some really pretty sentiments with a good font, and best yet, dies that cut everything out. So that's perfect. The dies do not come with a dimensional cover. You have to provide those yourselves, okay? So we're going to use a few of these. Everything will be on my blog tomorrow, so you don't even need to take any notes or nothing. But we are also featuring the new Pretty in Pink and Summer Splash 2024-26 in colors. Thank you, Nancy. This is my ode to Memorial Day, I know. Thank you, Carla. I'm certain it will be okay in the end. It's just, it's just some days there's knots in the floss. You guys know what, have you seen that? Have you seen that where the heron bird is standing there and he's got a piece of floss in his mouth and he says, some days there's knots in the floss. Either that or I just really dated myself. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. You'll be glad to know I've done much of the die cutting ahead of time so that you don't have to watch that, since it's very similar to watching ink dry. There is no DSP on this card, so that is kind of cool. And we're going to start with a piece of basic white cardstock. And I have gotten to where when I'm using the blending brushes, unless I'm really going crazy and wanting to do a whole lot really fast, I like the small ones myself. So now I have really started buying those instead of the big ones. So I've got Summer Splash and a small blending brush. And when you start with a blending brush, you want to start off of your cardstock so that you get rid of all of that extra ink. And you're going to kind of go in the center here, and you're going to start adding a little bit of pressure to add some color. Now, because of my design, if it gets a little borky right there in the center, I'm cool because I'm going to cover it up with that butterfly. But still, it's always good to practice your skills, right? Practice those techniques. There we go. We'll just add some Summer Splash there. I don't want it all over the card front. I just want it kind of in the center as kind of a highlight for my butterflies. And I'm going to call that good to go and close this before I have an ink catastrophe, which is very possible given the way that the things are today. Okay, so before you came, I stamped the several of the butterflies. So the ones that we've used on our card front are the large one. Then I have this one that's kind of pointing sideways, and then this smaller one. This medium one I didn't use, so I've got this one stamped, this one stamped, and this one stamped, and then die cut with the matching dies in the set. And I've just stamped them on basic white with tuxedo black Memento ink. See how pretty they are? I love them. I just really like them just even in the black like that. And that is why I didn't color them, because I liked them like that. And then I used this die, which cuts out 3 that are all hooked together like so. This is the new 2024-26 in color glimmer paper, and it's, you know, glimmery. That's why they named it that. And so I cut one of those die cuts from Basic White and one from the Summer Splash glimmer paper. And I've also cut a couple of the little guys. That's this guy right here, and he is actually designed to be layered atop that solid butterfly, but I didn't use him because I'm on white. So I just cut two of these from the same glimmer paper. Okay, got it? Okay, side. Okay. Let me put this away before I lose it. Now what I am gonna do with this die right here is take my paper snips and I'm going to cut them apart. Now you may be saying to yourself, I wonder why she didn't just use the dies in the set. Probably could have, but I like that these had kind of a different shape. Okay, so can you see how this guy is off center a little bit? He's a little bit, this wing is smaller than this one. That makes him look like he's coming at you at a different angle. So I kind of like that. So I'm just going to cut them apart where their two little wingies would come together, and then just kind of trim that down. This is an easy fussy cut, so if you're one of those people who don't like the fussy cut, it's okay. You can do this. All right, and just trim those little pieces like that. And then I'm going to do the same with the white versions. Okay, so here we go. Might be a little easier to see what is going on with these. Just a scheduling note for those of you who might be planning on attending my Zoom the Craft Room on Monday. Being that it's a holiday, I believe I will be taking that day off. I hope you'll take time to be with your families and enjoy those hot dogs. But while you're doing that, please remember Memorial Day is actually a day of remembrance, okay? So it's to take a moment to honor the folks who gave it all and never came home. So if you would take a moment to do that while you are enjoying having a day off, I would appreciate that. Okay, so I've got those all cut out. And what I'm basically going to do is we're going to make just a collage. And this is going to be a collage of butterflies kind of flitting around on the card front. And when you're setting this up, obviously I kind of already know where everything's going because I've made the card once. Hello. Oh yes, Kathy, I had some technical difficulties. YouTube hasn't figured out that when card makers are doing videos, they want it to be in landscape. So it defaults to portrait, and I forgot to fix that because, you know, it's been that kind of day. So you're just going to make your collage. Before we get too far down the line, I am going to go ahead and make us a sentiment. Sentiments are good. We like sentiments. What will be easier to make a sentiment? There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take a sentiment from Sketched Butterflies, and we're going to, hey Susan, going to stamp this sentiment in Pretty in Pink on a piece of Basic White, and then I'm going to go off screen and cut with a Stylish Shapes banner die. This one in particular, we're going to cut this little guy out. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Do not leave. This is not a technical difficulty. This is just a die cut, okay? So, you know. I feel like you guys know what I'm doing back here, so I don't feel like I need to move my machine to the desk and do that for you on screen. All right, here we go. All right, too. And put this back on the magnet before I miss it. Speaking of magnets, don't forget that Stampin' Storage has 15% off all weekend. That runs through, I think, Monday night. So you'll want to get it. It's site-wide. You don't even need a code. It'll just load up automatically. So let's go ahead and mat this on Basic Black. And I know, Carol, you really just can't go wrong with butterflies. I was really tickled to see this bundle come. We're going to mat on Basic Black here using a little liquid glue. If you're a Stampin' Seal person, use that. But you know me, I like my liquid glue. I like my liquid glue almost as much as I like dimensionals. So now I'm going to pop this large butterfly on with some Stampin' dimensionals. And then we can go from there. Thank you, Susan. Hey, Nicole. Well, happy birthday, Amanda. Beautiful, foggy Melbourne, Australia. Cool. Is it nighttime there or morning there? I don't know. It's backwards, so I think it must be morning. Okay, so we're going to do this straight on, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the dimensional. I mean, the sentiment. Yeah, I'm going to use dimensionals on the sentiment. That's what I was trying to say. And we'll straighten up our card panel there. Try to center it up. Hang on, I'm going to get a little drink here before I have a coughing fit. Thank you, Rocky. Yeah, the glimmer paper is really pretty. Okay, so now we can start kind of building up our collage. What I did is I used the white and the corresponding glimmer butterfly. That one actually needs this one right here. So we're going to have a butterfly like that. Then we're going to have this little guy is going to be up here, kind of around here somewhere. 2 layers worth, like that. And then this little guy is going to be up here. And then we're going to have this one is going to be, oh, I don't need him. Why did I cut him out? I don't know. Apparently I missed one. You know what? I'm going to cut another one because I want another one. And that's what I did earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take this little guy right here, and I'm going to cut a glimmer and a basic white. Okay, so stand by. Be hanging on. Don't leave. Yes, yes, I know I was supposed to do this ahead of time, and I did not. So let's see, what is that? 3 fails in one video? My goodness. It's one of them there dice. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there for your consideration. What does that tell you? It tells you that even demonstrators mess up, especially this one. All right, so there's your basic white one, and now I'm going to do one with, these guys are really a good use of your take your pick tool, your little brush tool, because it's a very detailed little die, and it does get a little persnickety getting the hanging chads out. All right. You know, I'm just talking over here with my machine, wondering if you can hear me or not. Let me know. Can you hear me, or is all you're hearing is the Charlie Brown wah 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 wah? All right, I'm almost there. I promise. We're getting really close. We're so close you can almost feel it coming. All right, there we go. All right, let's pretend like I didn't mess that up, okay? Just pretend like I totally didn't mess that up, okay? Get all the little hanging chads out. Because detailed dies are only fun if you can get all the chads out. Otherwise, you don't see all the detail. Hello? All right. So then this guy is going to go right about here. See why I needed him? Because he is necessary for this card. He is necessary. He's going to go right under there like that. And then this little guy's going to go on top. And then we'll add a few more. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere them now that we know where they're going to go and we actually have all of the things. Oh, you're on Stampin' Up time. That is very handy, isn't it? It is always handy to not have to do any, you know, converting. Okay, so I'm just kind of taking that collage apart. I'm going to use a little liquid glue on the bottom of my dies and place them right back in. This one is going to go under the large butterfly, but this one I'm going to roll his wings just a little bit, and he's going to go above the big butterfly, like so. And it just adds a little bit. It's not like your brain says, oh, look at that. She's got a white butterfly underneath the Summer Splash butterfly. It just, you kind of register it subconsciously. That sounded pretty good, didn't it? You like that. You were like, yes, Mary, that is totally how that is. Completely how that is. So just roll your wings a little bit with your fingers, a little bit of liquid glue on the body, and then adhere him right over the top. So the white piece went under the butterfly and the Summer Splash glimmer went above it. There must be something blooming because my throat's just tickling like crazy right now. One more drink. So sorry, y'all. We're going to pretend like that doesn't happen on every video. Okay, and then this little guy with his wings lightly curled is going to go like that. Now, I'm going to add this guy down here, and I'm just going to put a dimensional on the bottom portion of him so that he'll kind of overlap my sentiment a little bit. But I got to turn him over and see where the bottom is. Yeah, there we go. It's like I knew where the bottom was, and then I turned him over and I was like, I got nothing, man. I have no idea where your bottom is. Okay, so we'll just put him right there. There's really no adhesive here. If you feel like putting a little liquid glue there, you sure can, but really not necessary. He'll stick right there like that. Okay, then we're going to take these little guys and just add them in each corner. So this one's going to go over up here like so. And this little guy's going to go down kind of tucked up under him right there. Like that. Okay? And so all that's left to do is add a couple of pretty and pink dappled dots that are sitting right in front of me. If that had been a snake, it would have bitten me because it was right in front of me and I'm like, where is it? Okay. So we're just going to put a few of these around. What do you guys think about Summer Splash and Pretty in Pink together? I think it's a good mix. All right. And I love these little dappled dots, guys. I'll show you here in just a second why they call them dappled. You see the little white lines in them? They kind of sort, if you've ever had a dappled gray horse, they kind of look like that, but not really. So, you know, but it works. If you look at them, you can see the little dots, the little white lines in there, and it adds a little bit of texture. So that is our card front. And let's go ahead and get on the inside. I have another piece of basic white, and I'm going to use a second sentiment from Sketched Butterflies. We're going to stamp it in Pretty in Pink. Remember, when you're using a red stamp that you can't see through, I always like to do a pre-stamp to be sure that I'm straight, because your straightness depends on how good a job you did putting the sticker on and how good a job Stampin' Up! Did engraving that image. Okay, so you want to know what you're working with, whether you have to correct a little up or down on either corner. Okay, so it also helps if you have your panel straight, because everything that you want straight should be straight and everything you want crooked should be crooked. It's just a rule I live by. All right, here we go. And then there is a very cute little image in the stamp with 4 little butterflies fluttering all over the place, every different direction. And I am going to go and put that next to the sentiment in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And what I'm really trying to do is sort of cradle that sentiment with the butterflies, and I got close. That would have been nicer, not quite touching the sentiment. You know what's cool is there's 2 sides to this paper, so why don't I just see if I can fix it? We'll just take whichever one I like better when we get done. All right. White. I just got ink all over my finger. Not that I care about that very much, but I will put it on this piece of cardstock, sure as shootin'. Okay, here we go. There. All right, let's try this again. Okay, everybody hold your mouth just right. And let's see if we can get it not touching the sentiment. Oh, see, that's why there's 2 sides to the paper. God said, stampers will make mistakes. Let's make 2 sides to the paper. Stamp the butterflies first might work, but it wouldn't for me, because then I wouldn't know. I really want the sentiment to be centered. So for me, it works better stamping this first, but try it your way. And if that works better for you, that is awesome. All right. And then we're going to mat this on basic black, just like the front. Okay. And then I have a pretty in pink card base that we're going to use today. And we'll give this a little burnish and put this on the inside with liquid glue. Okay, so just in case you didn't copy, or if you weren't here, I am not going to be live at 2 o'clock on Monday on my Zoom the Craft Room. So if that's something you would normally tune into, I will not be there. All right? You enjoy your day with your family, and I will be back on Thursday for a video at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and then Zoom the Craft Room at 7 o'clock that night. Now, to adhere the card front to the front of the card, I'm going to use black basic dimensionals because I have a black mat, and that makes my heart much happier. I know. I always end up with ink on my fingers too, which is fine unless that ink ends up also on the card, which, well, it does. It's just how I like to do things. I prefer to make as much a mess as possible and have to make one card 3 times, as many times as I can possibly do it. All right. To the big pineapple. I don't know what would be at the big pineapple, but it sounds yummy. All right. I assume there'd be a lot of pineapple. Would you have a lot of pineapple at the big pineapple feast? Maybe? Okay. So we're going to put this on the front with our dimensionals. And there is our card. Now for our envelope, we're going to stamp the 4 butterflies in tuxedo black on the front. Like this. Oh, hey, here's a public service announcement. Just so you know, stamps are going up in July again. So I just ordered a whole bunch from the USPS so that I can only spend 68 cents a piece instead of 74 cents a piece, which is what I think it's going up to. So, you know, I don't know why I closed that. But that's just so you know. If you like to send cards, order some stamps and have them ready so that you don't have to pay extra. Okay, so then because we're not using any DSP, I'm just going to take that big butterfly from the front, and I'm going to stamp him right in the middle of my envelope flap like that in basic black. Remember, with black, as with any of the dark colors, you do want to give it a second because it takes an extra little beat to dry. So don't be like rubbing on it right now. Okay, give it a little bitty shake. But that's all the card, people. That's it. That's it right there. So kind of a rocky start. I appreciate you coming back and waiting for me to get actually live and actually in landscape mode. So y'all have a great 3-day weekend. Please spend a minute on Monday saying a little prayer thanks for the folks that gave you the freedom to have a hot dog roast on Monday. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.